Hello and welcome to 18 WJTS in.form. I'm Kaitlyn Neukam, and in the spirit of the upcoming Christmas season, we're celebrating right now, or early-ish enough, in the Dubois County community. So we have, of course, Mr. Marc Stezyk to talk about the Christkindlmarkt happening in Ferdinand. So welcome.
Thank you, Kaitlyn. It's a pleasure to be here, and it's been probably a year since I've been here, and I love what you have done with the place.
We appreciate that so much. You probably don't even know. It's been a treat to have this, and of course all the support from Kimball International with all the furniture and stuff. But another year has gone by and another Christkindlmarkt is here. So I would love to hear about what's on the docket, what you guys have been cooking up over in Ferdinand.
Yeah, it's funny, and we kind of touched on this a little bit before we started taping that it's, we haven't even had Thanksgiving yet,
I know.
And that always feels a little bit weird, and but no, it's the Christmas season is upon us. Huntingburg had their stroll last weekend, and now it's time for Christkindlmarkt, and it's a very special event for our community, and it is an event that had very humble beginnings. It started at the Ferdinand Community Center. It was just one location, and this is the 26th year, so it's kind of become the norm that it's just this huge event, and it's kind of hard to think back at the beginning and what it was, which was great, to what it's become, which is absolutely phenomenal.
It's grown so much.
Yeah, it went from the community center, which there's still that location. It's a great location, parking and all that. Forest Park High School is what I would consider to be the hub, if you will, because there's the PE gym there, the old gym there, the commons, and the cafeteria all have wares, all artisan, handmade wares. This is not commercial brought in stuff. We also have the entertainment options there of the Marionette Theater, the live Glockenspiel, which is very popular. That is in the theater, Forest Park High School Theater. And then the YMCA has the Antiques Mart, the Monastery Event Hall, which is conveniently located at St. Benedict's Brew Works for you husbands out there.
Imagine that.
So you can go there, and the rest of your family can go to the Monastery Event Hall. Ferdinand American Legion will be serving up a nice German plate lunch, and then they also have artisans there and booths there. And Ferdinand Elementary School. Wow. And their gym is another stop. I feel like I got them all, but you might go to FerdinandChristkindlmarkt.com just to make sure that what I'm speaking is 100% accurate.
That's the perfect plug, by the way, but it is the perfect opportunity for you to go and plan your trip, plan exactly where you want to start, go through into the end. Is Christkindlmarkt, of course, we have all the vendors inside, but are there events happening outside in the community as well? Yeah,
definitely. So I think on Saturday you're going to want to check my times on it, but I think it's 11 to noon. I believe Santa Claus, the German American branch in Ferdinand will have Santa Claus. It's the opportunity to meet Santa Claus, and also on Saturday there's a chance for your kiddos to see, and I would guess pet an actual live reindeer. And
live reindeer.
It's always
You guys
exciting.
Had to pay a bunch of money to get both Santa and the live reindeer to come, right?
It was a package deal.
Oh, okay,
It was a package
good.
deal. The guarantee was a little bit higher from a monetary perspective, but we were able to get them both for sure. I don't think it was Rudolph, but you would be able to tell that right away if it was Rudolph.
Yes.
But yeah, there's plenty of activities throughout the town. Obviously, all of the normal shops and eateries will be open as well, and we want to make sure and support those vendors, not vendors, but those entities as well, because it's important for them. And then you mentioned convenience and finding where you want to start. One of the beautiful things about Christkindlmarkt is that we have free shuttles all day. So not only has this thing grown from the community center, but it's grown from a logistical perspective in that we can have people come to town, find a convenient location to park, because it will be, truth be told, let's be honest, it will be crazy to get around town, especially on Saturday, because that's the busiest time. But it's convenient enough to find a location and pick up a shuttle and go to all the locations and then make your way back. And then, of course, the opportunity to walk is not impossible. Ferdinand, while we think it's Indiana's biggest small town, it is definitely not unwalkable. So you could walk from location to location, especially if you want to get your steps for that day.
I was going to say, for ladies who are lazy enough but love going shopping, this is like the perfect combo, me being included. Like, I don't mind getting the steps in, but at the same time, if I can just have a vehicle take me to where I need to be and not have to worry about parking in a busy place,
right.
You just take it and you just ride it all day long to all the various stops.
That's right.
And it is the most important part is it's that big F word that everyone likes, right?
The big F word, it's free. Yes. Kaitlyn, that took me a second, I'll be honest with you. But yeah, no, it is definitely a free shuttle, free service. And it's the amount of artisans, the amount of booths that we'll have. It's over 200 at all of the locations.
Wow.
So it's a little bit of everything. It's, the traditional art to antiques to handmade soaps to cookies, candies, that type of thing. Pretty much everything and anything you could want, not only for the Christmas season, but for just in general. You're going to be able to find it at the Ferdinand Christkindlmarkt.
Yes, I mean, of course, we always think about getting your Christmas shopping done early for others and whatnot, but from a personal consumer standpoint, if you're looking for something that's going to be original, handmade, one of a kind, or something that's in not great supply and you don't feel like, ordering it online or waiting forever for it to show up or waiting for a shop in particular to bring it back in stock, this will be a perfect opportunity to find new vendors, find new sellers that make this item and build that connection so that you can purchase this handmade item and vice versa. And that's kind of what the community is all about too, is just that sense of knowing that everything is catered to you. Yeah,
absolutely. And the beauty of having over 200 booths and not being commercially driven wares is that there is the potential to be able to customize things and things like that. Saturday is going to be the busiest day.
Yes.
We talked about that, touched on it. Sunday traffic is a little bit better, and while we can't guarantee that anybody's going to be willing to haggle, they do have to load things up at the end of the day, and that might be a better time for locals to come out and maybe be able to look a little bit more and maybe get some deals.
Yeah, that's a good plug. I am a thrift girl myself, so knowing that the deals you might be able to say, hey, I'll take this stuff off your hands so you don't have to load it up if you want to, bundle and save a few bucks. But Friday also, you guys have the big opening date, right?
Yeah, Christkindlmarkt Eve, and it's at the monastery. It's outside, so you're going to want to dress appropriately. I do believe a cooler front is moving through on Friday. It's not going to be cold. It's going to be seasonal weather. But
what a shocker for the weather we've had this year. It's definitely been a little bit funny. But if it's seasonally cool, then put on a few layers, be able to take them off, etc.
Yeah, you'll be fine. And it really is a magical thing because you've got the elementary school kids involved, you've got choir involved, and then of course the Christkindl angel emerges and announces the opening of the mart. So that is always a good time, especially if you can stay in the weather. It is a little bit on a hillside, so you want to plan on that. And it's dark. It'll be lit up as much as possible, but it is a little bit dark. And then on Saturday evening, the 18th, we are having a Sounds of the Season event. It's kind of becoming an annual event. I think this is our third year. It will be back at the convent in the beautiful domed church and begins at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Will last no later than 8 o'clock, and it will feature members of the Evansville Philharmonic Orchestra's iCamp String Quartet.
Wow.
And the University of Evansville's Shepherd Brass Band. And this is going to sound like I'm doing a PR spin on you, but I am not. It is a magical, magical thing, and it's free. I am host that evening, and I will try to shame people into donating on their way out because the monastery is allowing us to use the facility free of charge. But it is a free event. We do encourage people to arrive early because space, both parking and inside the church, is limited.
Very awesome. I have experienced the live music phenomenon that makes your skin prickle, and it gives you the goosebumps. So if you're saying that's what you're in store for, it sounds like a fantastic evening.
It is absolutely what you're in store for. And of course, all of these selections are going to be seasonal. And at the beginning of that event, actually, as people are being seated, the wonderful Strings Inc. organization, run by Raphael Ashaik, will be providing seating music as people enter. So it's all around good event and very memorable, especially if you've never been.
So for our Christkindlmarkt shoppers here, what are the hours of operation, or when are we opening till how long during each day?
Yep, so Saturday, and you're going to want to double check my times on this, but Saturday I believe it to be 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, and then Sunday 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. And again, the less busier of the 2 days is definitely going to be Sunday, if you like to be able to look around and take more of your time. But of course, this is an event that brings in tour buses from out of state, and those are primarily on Saturday, and that's when a lot of the traffic is a little bit more wall to wall. And with the weather being what it is, it might be a little bit chilly, but it's going to be a nice, sunny day, and it's going to have a lot of people come out, especially on Saturday.
And I mean, that I definitely wanted you to reiterate that simply because I know the people who are dedicated to shopping at events like this, they want to be lined up like an hour before.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
I presume Saturday is going to be that type of busy where they're waiting for the shuttles, they're going to be in the door first thing, and it's going to be quite the shopping experience, but keeping in tune with all of the holly and jolly spirit that is Christmas time.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it's hard to believe that Thanksgiving hasn't even been here yet, but it is that time, and Christmas will be here before we all know it. And this is a great way to get it kicked off.
In Ferdinand, of course. So remind us one more time, what's the website if we want to start planning our trip?
Christkindlmarkt.com, and it is spelled a little bit differently. It's more of a German actual spelling of Christkindlmarkt. But if you type it in Google, it will probably auto-populate it for you, and it'll get you where you need to go. Christkindlmarkt.com.
Yes. Is there also a Facebook page associated with the Christkindlmarkt?
There is. Just search in the group section for Ferdinand Christkindlmarkt.
So there's a lot of options. Of course, I imagine you guys are also showcasing your vendors that are going to be there, giving examples of what to look out for when you're shopping and all that stuff. Marc, I'd love to ask you a fun question about like what you're looking forward to. What's your favorite part coming back every single year?
Okay, I wasn't prepared for that question, but I have an immediate knee-jerk reaction. So I live very close to Forest Park High School, and there are food trucks outside of Forest Park High School, and there's one in particular. It's a hot dog food vendor, and my children both love it. So we spend both days going back and forth there. So that's probably what I'm looking forward to the most. And then the Saturday evening thing has become very special to me, and I look forward to doing that as well.
Imagine having a hot dog stand in front of your house for a weekend long. That's a treat I think everyone should look forward to.
If you haven't experienced it, you just can't imagine how great it is.
Well, it sounds extra magical and Christmassy if, take away the hot dog-esque thing. But it sounds like you guys are set over there in Ferdinand.
We are. And again, the weather is going to be seasonally not chilly, but seasonal temperatures. So plan on that. But being in and out of the buildings on a sunny day, and being mid to upper 50s, also maybe not plan on wearing a bunch of layers.
Yes. Well, Marc, we appreciate your time today, and it sounds like, of course, another great Ferdinand Christkindlmarkt's on the way to be in the books and already ready for next year. But it is this Friday for the opening ceremony, Friday in the evening, and then Saturday and Sunday.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and we look forward to not only welcoming the thousands of people that are going to come from out of town and out of state, but the local people as well. And they have actually been the ones that help make the foundation of what this event actually is.
That is fantastic. Well, in the jolly holly spirit, merry holidays and all the things to everyone. Go visit the Christkindlmarkt. Marc, we appreciate all that you do, and of course, thank you for coming and talking about all of the exciting things, plus the hot dog cart in front of your house. So we appreciate it.
Thank you, Kaitlyn. I appreciate the time.
And thank you so much at home for watching. This has been your 18 WJTS in.form, getting ready for the Ferdinand Christkindlmarkt this year, and we are local people watching local people.